Hi, this is Ace Collins. I want to share a devotional with you from my latest book, The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, A Countdown to Christmas. For millions, Christmas is not Christmas until they view the 1946 Frank Capra film, It's a Wonderful Life. In this Hollywood classic, George Bailey sees what the world would have been like had he not been born. When faced with what might have been, George discovers the world would have been a far darker place without him. 1,000 years ago, Advent was a time of personal introspection. One element of the tradition centered on how different the world would have been if there had been no Jesus. As we begin embracing this new Christmas season, perhaps to put things into the proper perspective, we first need to visualize a world where Christ was never born. For starters, there would be no cards, no lights, no decorations, no silent night or white Christmas, no shopping, no gifts, and no family gatherings. December 25th would be just like another day on the calendar, and the wonder and the joy of the season would be something we would never experience. Yet that is just the beginning. Your salvation would not be anchored on grace, but on the law. The church where you attended as a child, the place where you were saved, the building where you now gather with family, would have never been constructed. The relationships you built in church would also be lost. There would be no Christmas bells, no amazing grace, and no chance for redemption. The billions who have been touched through the gifts and missions of the church would have never felt the love of Christ. The compassion born of faith would be completely unknown. Without Christ, there would be no Mother Teresa, Albert Schweitzer, Martin Luther, Lottie Moon, or Billy Graham. The purpose for their great work would have not been there to motivate or inspire them. It is easy to get overwhelmed with the demands of the season and fall into the trap of dreading the holidays. Fighting the crowds at the mall, decorating the house, wrapping the gifts, and meeting all the holiday obligations is never easy. But consider the alternative. If there were no Christmas, then just like Bedford Falls without the influence of George Bailey, our world would be a much darker and depressing place. Christmas celebrates not just the birth of Christ, but how Jesus changed the world and changed each of us. That dramatic change is one we should embrace on the day we kick off this month of joy, as well as each day of our lives. Yes, because of the wonderful life Jesus has given to the world and to each of us, there is a reason to celebrate. Because of Christ, there is not only Christmas, but also hope, light, and joy on every day of the year.